Throwing knives do not need to be sharp. Every video I have, all my knives aren't sharp. See, they all stick. If you do want to be tactical, which meaning you want to have a multifunctional knife that cuts and a knife that throws, I have one of those. I have a throwing knife. I have a throwing knife. I have a folder that's sharp, and if I really wanted to, if I needed to in a situation, I could throw it as well. I'm not going to throw this on a constant basis because I'll dull the edge, I'll break the mechanism that, helps it keep open. Pretty much anything, as long as it has an edge or a point. I threw needle nose pliers. I didn't even know I could do it. If you want a knife that can cut, and if you want a knife durable enough to throw, then yes, get a sharp throwing knife. For example, Outtakes, maker of Libra knives, sent me a box full of knives, a ton of them. And most of his knives aren't sharp. The rockets I received, which I absolutely love, aren't sharp. These aren't sharp. I use these knives to cut a carrot, and they don't cut. But they do stick in targets just fine because of the point. That's what matters, the point. Now, a couple of his knives, though, do come sharp. The Hacks is sharp, and the Osetr's also come sharp. And I was debating, because someone mentioned in the comments, that's the worst thing you could do to a knife, blunt the edge. If you throw the knife and it falls on the ground, you can't see where the blade is, and you just go to grab it, just not even thinking, you can cut yourself. And I did that the other day. I grabbed it by the tip, and I was like, oh my God. I actually looked at my fingertips to see if I sliced them open, and I didn't. Just from throwing constantly, I already dulled the tip. I'm gonna dull these. I just have to because I'm just used to having unsharp throwing knives. And I thought this was the perfect opportunity to address that concern. Is a sharp throwing knife better than a dull throwing knife? I'm gonna have a dull Osetr throwing knife, and the one I've kept sharp, we're gonna throw them. You're gonna see if there's a difference. There isn't, because I'm right. And here you go. Now we're gonna do the sharp Osetr versus the dull Osetr, and you guys can see if there's a difference. That was sharp. That's dull. Try it again. Sharp throwing knife, Osetr, dull. No difference. Is that good? So the conclusion is you don't need a sharp throwing knife. They don't need to be sharpened. If it's a dual purpose throwing knife, like let's say you're taking these camping, then great, it's sharp, you can cut your food with it, and you can throw them without worrying about them breaking. If you are using your throwing knife as a cutting tool, then you'll have to sharpen it because it'll start to dull over time the more and more you are slamming it into a wood target. If I wanted a multi-purpose throwing tool, you could use any knife, and I'll show you. See? Just get some throwing knives that are dull and keep your multifunctional tools more for cutting, and just know that you could throw it if you ever wanted to. So there you go. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye. Recently I received Flying Death from Adam Saladino Sharp Blades, and I threw it at my target. Can you do me a favor? Can you get me my cold steel? No, what are you doing? And this one's from Milwaukee, and you can use a file. Hey! And you can use a file. First set of throwing knives, which were these black spades. Set. And every time I hear that question, I'm like, no. No! Shut up. For instance, I received a box of Libra knives from Outtakes, and if you're curious about them, maybe could you? Jesus Christ! Why?
I'm trying to make you a nice
lunch. No, I just. Do you want to? You want to sit here and talk? Okay. No, please don't.
So, let me tell you about dumb. Ow! Jason Statham. He has sharp knives.
Test it to see if it's not sharp by running your fingers gently across, and then once it's... Huh?
Don't rub your fingers across the knife like that.
Why would you... So how would you know if it's done?
I usually go like that, across this way. If I go like that, I'm going to cut myself open.
Okay, across this way.